right, guys, welcome back to another episode. Woo. Episode 70 of the Sync podcast. Make sure to subscribe.
Dude, we've been on a roll. We've done the 3 podcasts in 3 days recently.
Know.
This is kind of
it is epic.
Happening.
Going daily.
Yes. This is going to be an epic episode. I've been watching our guest today for a while now on YouTube. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think you're one of the biggest finance, like the financial IQ YouTubers out there.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, look, the finance space is so diverse, and a lot of folks starting, a lot of new channels coming out, a lot of new perspectives, and it's so good. But yeah, I mean, 1.6 in the finance space. There are a few larger, many smaller, but definitely up top 5, top 10.
You're posting all day though, and you're live half the day. Your videos get crazy numbers. 1.6, and so a lot of people know you as Meet Kevin.
That's right.
But you're also doing something else that's insane at the same time. So I guess they also need to know how would you introduce yourself?
I'm Meet Kevin, and I go by Meet Kevin on social media, but we're running as Meet Kevin Paffrath for governor. We're going to replace Gavin Newsom. Let's go.
Let's go. That's awesome.
And thank you so much for having me. So tell me a little bit. You guys moved out here to LA, and things were different from Seattle.
They are. We wanted to talk to you about because one of the big things that you, we can get into the whole history of your YouTube channel and everything in there, but for governor, when we moved down here, the biggest thing we noticed, the homeless crisis in LA. And you have big plans of what you want to do there. Yeah. I want to hear,
It's so sad that really California should be the model of the country. Yet California is an embarrassment throughout the entire country. You think of homelessness, you just think of California. Yeah. Everything that's wrong in the country, people are like, oh, it's probably California. It has so many nicknames. There's a nickname for everything about California. But really, it's something to me. The problem has been leadership, having just somebody at the top to say, look, the California Constitution says the governor can declare a state of emergency, take control of all state agencies, city and county, and work collaboratively with them and solve problems. And the cities and counties want that. Yeah. You've got the sheriff of LA just 3 days ago goes on Twitter, hey, look, I'm frustrated by the homeless problem too. I want to deal with it, but we're waiting on the county, who's waiting on the city, but the city says we're waiting on the county.
It's bureaucracy. It's
It's toxic.
It's just such a big issue. We've seen crazy. We've literally seen crazy shit.
We saw. Tell me what you guys saw the other day.
Someone asked you, what's the craziest thing you've seen, ever?
In your life?
And me and Kai witnessed this yesterday.
We have an answer now.
Yesterday?
Yeah, or not. It was
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Oh, God.
2 days ago. So we're just driving. We're driving back.
Sunset Boulevard.
We're driving back, and we're at a stop sign. And I'm looking to my right, and I see this homeless man with his pants off, and he has his butthole is just hella shitty. It's poop everywhere. He has a pile of poop right behind him.
But he was lying down on his shoulder. Here exposed to the street and grabbing it, and people were just walking by and didn't know what to do.
He was painting, right?
Yeah,
he was making a painting.
He would reach back, grab his shit, and draw on the cement wall like Picasso. And me and Kai are looking at each other, and we go, "Wow, this is the craziest thing we've ever seen."
In our
and
lives.
we don't see this at all in Seattle.
And Seattle has a bad homeless problem as well.
We're just wow, this is the craziest thing we've ever seen.
And it's just so funny because. You hear things I'll go home and you hear things
California is crazy.
you hear things that other people think is crazy. My grandma would be oh my gosh, this lady walked in front of my car today and then walked the other way, and I'm oh okay, whatever. But you have never experienced a crazier just social living environment than LA and Hollywood in particular.
Very diverse, which I really love.
It's nuts.
But
it's crazy.
I don't know if you love that particular.
No, it's true.
That part. It's you know what it is it's really sad that our government doesn't seem to care. That people. I mean, these are folks who need help. They need compassion. They need somebody to provide and help them. I mean, there are a lot of homeless folks who fell upon economically hard times. They just need a roof. They need a shower. They need the ability to go to a job interview, have a razor, and clean up and go get a job. But there are also 15% that are on or abusing substances. 15% with mental health issues, and the state should be there for them. And the street's not the place. People dying on our street is not the place.
Wait, are they the 15% of the people on the street? Because that seems really low.
So of homelessness, the New York Times put a piece together, and they suggested that about 15%, the root cause of their homelessness is homelessness or is mental illness.
Yeah.
Another 15% substance abuse. That's why they're homeless.
Okay.
Now it's possible that you get 60% of folks who become homeless because they get evicted, they lose their job, they can't afford it anymore.
Yeah.
And then the question is, well, what happens then? Do they fall victim to substance abuse?
Yeah.
Do they get into mental health? And then that's where maybe the percentages can skew even more.
And what has Newsom done so far? What has California done so far to try to combat this?
Because we heard you have if you get elected, you have like a 60-day plan to
remove all homelessness.
Yeah, exactly. So right now, the plans for the next 5 years that California has is to spend $187,000 per homeless person for 65,000 homeless people. Well, we have 160,000 homeless people. So their plan's not even addressing everyone right now.
Wow.
And they want to give basically the equivalent of $187,000 per person of the 65 that are being targeted, 65,000 to try to solve it. But Gavin Newsom's been trying to solve homelessness for 17 years. Mayor of San Francisco, lieutenant governor, now governor.
Yeah.
It's gone straight down. So the policies of the current administration clearly don't work. I don't know if that's a Gavin Newsom problem or if it's just a policy problem. But my belief is there is a way better way to do it, and that is declaring a state of emergency day one. Day one, state of emergency. National Guard goes everywhere there are homeless folks. What you're describing doesn't happen anymore because that person now has access to a bathroom. My goodness, somebody having access to that.
Yeah.
So even with us, it is
No more shit painting.
No, even with us, like I don't know if you've ever gone on like a long road trip and you ended in LA, but you don't have like a place to go quite yet.
Yeah.
It is the most impossible thing to find a bathroom anywhere that like you can use, even if you're paying,
and
like
that's because all the homeless people want to use that bathroom. Like a gas attendant told me he's caught homeless people like fucking in a bathroom, which is bad, and also taking showers in gas station bathrooms.
And that makes the problem of like you feel like you are able to like just urinate outside or like urinate in a bottle because
I mean the amount of times I've pissed in water bottles driving through LA is crazy because you literally there's no bathrooms anywhere. You have to go to the only place I can really think of off the top of my head is like Santa Monica at the beach.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And so think about being homeless.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
What are you supposed to do? So the National Guard, initially when we hear National Guard, we're thinking like people are coming in with rifles and they're just pulling everyone out. That's not the goal. National Guard is a service, and it will be here in California to serve all of the homeless people. And for the first time, we'll actually see government providing compassion. Here's clothing. Here are 3 meals a day. Here's a razor. Here are products for whatever you might need for hygiene. I mean, females need personal hygiene products. Men need personal hygiene products. How are you ever expected to be normal without that? Yeah. So without resources, you can't do anything. You need 3 meals a day. Whole Foods throws away probably enough food throughout our state alone to feed our entire homeless population 3 times a day. But they have to throw it away because they can't donate it. Well, because of liability. What if one person gets sued or gets sick and then they sue Whole Foods? Now Whole Foods gets shut down or so give it to the National Guard. Let us recook it, reheat it, make sure it's clean or whatever, and give it to the homeless folks. That's just one example, right? But the point is, the first 30 days is provide compassion, food, support, and bathrooms, but also protect people. No more people getting raped or beaten at night, which happens. I spoke with a homeless advocate. They say the local sheriff's department in LA County says the rape rate for a woman who becomes homeless in the first 24 hours is 100%.
What?
100% rape rate. So the odds of you getting raped are 100% if you're a woman and you have your first night of being homeless.
And that would be by the homeless community.
Presumably.
Yeah.
Community, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you can imagine that. Like you go to Venice, it's empty streets and they're just homeless people like all on the streets.
Or like think about our block that we lived on. Like it was a completely. It was not a safe space, I would say. For us, I mean, when we'd walk, 8 deep, all,
you got your crew.
We'd walk 8 deep, but you still don't really get that sense of safety.
Yeah.
And guess what the first thing is that turns around when all of a sudden you have 24/7 National Guard everywhere there are homeless folks. Everyone feels safe.
Yeah.
The homeless feel safe, but also people, visitors, tourists. It's going to look like the military's there, but they're not going to be guns. They're here to serve.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden you have the public safety and you have their safety. That's the first 30 days. The next is the hard part, because in the first 30 days, we're also going to build probably 80 facilities throughout the state of California. So pick 80 counties that have land available and build facilities that can house 2,000, 2,500 people per. And then each facility, think of it kind of like high schools. So you've got 80 high schools that you're building, and you've got a mental health section of the school, so to speak, or facility. You've got a detox section. You've got a residence section where you just have shelter. You're providing shelter for folks. And the goal becomes transitioning folks to these shelters over the next
Right.
30 days, so that by 30 days, we've already gained trust. Because one thing right now you have is a disastrous red tape bureaucratic nightmare of a homeless system.
Right.
Where what's happening is you've got one homeless advocacy group that comes up for an interview and try to get your face on camera. Another one comes up and goes, here's a cell phone so we can track you. You know, here's somebody else going, here's a flyer. You can go to this canteen and get food. Here's somewhere you could go to get mental health. How are they going to get there?
Yeah.
You know, they don't have a car. They don't have money for an Uber. Everything is so scattered. And it's hard for me to even understand all of the programs that exist because there's so many different programs.
Yeah.
How's a homeless person supposed to understand who's in the state of despair? There's no homeless person that's happy to be homeless. I mean, I think maybe at some point of mental illness, you could be at the state of, no, this is what it is.
It is what it
you
is.
know?
But
But
currently, and they're slinging all these small little solutions. But you're saying, like, I know most people would say, okay, you're putting up 80 facilities. That's going to cost so much money.
Oh, yeah.
But the argument is, you're going to be saving so much money on the fact that you don't have a ton of people living on the street, causing all these.
you know what costs more money is homeless using our ER as their doctor.
Yeah.
And who pays for that? The state pays for that. What about the amount of times ambulances have to come out or cops have to come out or picking up bodies off the street costs money too.
Yeah.
And that's the worst, literally the worst thing. Why is that okay?
What's the death rate of like street deaths in LA County?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'd have to circle back on
Yeah.
that. It's a really good question to see what the death
But I mean,
rate
is it a number that you think would shock a lot of people?
I think so. Yeah.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
we haven't. I don't think we've personally seen that, but I mean that's definitely.
Well, you don't
something-
see it because what happens is people die in their tents.
Oh, okay.
It's not like it's not like they're walking around and here's a street performer and then somebody's dropping dead, right?
Yeah.
It's they die in their sleep and then one of the homeless neighbors like, oh, so another one died, okay, and then
Yeah.
the county comes
Jeez.
and removes them usually before daylight. Night is the bad time.
Damn.
That's when the rapes, the beatings. Yeah.
And if you guys don't live in like LA, you guys don't know, the streets are packed with tents. And then also RVs too. RVs are different because a lot of people just like to live more mobile. Yeah. But the tents just occupy the streets. You can't walk on certain sidewalks because it's literally like a whole street built of tents.
Well, there's the RV streets. There's the immobile RVs, which is literally just a nicer. It's nicer because. I mean, I guess kind of over in like the South Central area, like there's streets that you drive on and it's 3 miles of RVs
Yeah.
It's
on
crazy.
each side. And it's like, wow, this is, and which is, I mean, I don't know if people are taking them and going and doing some weekending activities or if that's just where they're parked, but there's some that literally have like enclosures built around them. It's something that is, it's hard to describe to people that aren't living here and they haven't seen it. It's
How
a
crazy
hard
it
thing
is.
to describe.
Just drive down the 101 now.
Yeah.
You see those temporary it's like they're picking up sheet metal and this is my roof, and tarp and these are my walls, and they're living off the side of the freeway. I mean, who's going to check on them? How many people are dead right now on the side of the highway? We don't even know.
Yeah.
It's sad.
And I think it's a big thing to say, like, okay, the National Guard's going to come in, but I think we're in such a state where people are going to be okay with that, knowing what it's going to lead to. There's nothing else you can do.
It is a state emergency.
Yeah.
It needs to be treated as one. We can't have the way it is. And then what happens is, you get longer term benefits if people have access to the resources to get better.
Yeah.
That's important. Now we can school, because we got to solve schools and traffic, and there are many other issues in California. They all have to be solved. But then you could start rehabilitating people and trying to get them back into society. There are always going to be folks who will not be able to be rehabilitated. But that's what government is also there for. A bare minimum social safety net.
Do you think like other states would like take advantage of like your plan with like their homelessness?
Sure.
So like for like Oregon, for example, if there's like a lot of homeless people in Oregon, would they just come down to California to like?
There are states that might literally ship their homeless population to the state of California.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. And the thing is, my vision is we have to be a model for the entire country.
Yeah.
We've got immigration problems to solve. We've got endless problems to solve. But right now we have a problem with hundreds of thousands of people leaving California every year. The stats are skewed because we have babies being born. But really babies and children are a draw on society until they're 18 and can actually contribute to society.
Yeah.
So what's happening is we're losing hundreds of thousands of people who are capable of producing to other states. And so if we get 100 homeless folks shipped over from Oregon, we're not inviting this, but say that happens. Well, what if we can rehabilitate 60 of them, get them back into our economy? Now, hopefully they're here and contributing again.
Well, and theoretically, the plan. I mean, if the plan is if it goes to plan, like theoretically it'll work so well that it's where you have the ability to be able to do things like that. I mean, where like there's obviously gonna be like outliers and things that happen, but I mean like that you have the ability to do things like that.
Exactly, and it needs to come from the top.
Yeah, it does.
State of emergency, it can be done in 24 hours.
Yeah,
you get usually a 5-week transition period. So when we win, when people vote Gavin Newsom out and vote for me, Kevin Paffrath, for governor, usually is about a 5-week transition.
Yeah,
that's how it was with. For Arnold Schwarzenegger, day one.
Yeah, so correct me. Is it the same that Arnold did too? Like, because you're not running for you got to recall Gavin Newsom, who's currently the governor. People need to vote him out of office. They need to vote you in, right? But they've done that before with Arnold. How did that What's the?
Yeah, it's two. It's basically I'm running 2 elections.
Right.
I'm running one election, which is vote yes on Gavin Newsom, which has been branded as this. Gavin Newsom, his quote was, "This is a Republican recall. It's just the Proud Boys and 3% of Republicans who want to do this recall."
Right.
It's not. It's frustrated Californians throughout the state, both Democrats, Independents, Republicans. It's everyone. And so the first...
He's trying to make it seem like you're the Republican coming in, trying to take out the Democrats by disguising as a Democrat.
Well, I mean, some people are saying that because I am running as a Democrat,
right.
But that's just that's the natural counterattack, right? It's like if you have, okay, so you've got folks who want to keep Gavin Newsom. Of course, it's in their interest to say, oh, well, that must not be a real Democrat then. Well, look at my policies, right? We've got a carbon tax, we've got immigration plans, and we can talk about these things. There are wonderful, wonderful things that we have for making California better, lowering taxes. It's really solving issues in the middle is really what we're doing. But yeah, so I've got to win on yes on recall Newsom and then yes on meet Kevin Paffrath. So it's a double election. And if I get in, then I would be running again next year in 2022. So it's back-to-back campaigns.
What do you think the chances are of Gavin Newsom actually getting recalled?
I think it's very high, but it's going to require turnout. It's going to require folks being concerned with what's Newsom actually going to be able to accomplish over the next 1 to 4 or 5 years if he remains in office. Is homelessness going to get better? What's he going to do during COVID 2.0? He put 1/3 of businesses out of business, 1/3 of restaurants out of business in COVID 1.0 with the lockdowns.
Oh my God.
What's going to happen with the next round? And to me, there are very logical ways to keep businesses open while reducing COVID transmission, like HEPA filtration or proper ventilation. There's science that says we can have business be open at normal capacity.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I want to go back to everything, all your policies, but I want to talk quickly about like your past, everything you've done with your YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
You've done a lot of real estate. I was telling the boys like online it says like with your company, your real estate company, you guys control a ton of different properties in California.
Yeah.
It's made you very wealthy, and it's brought you to the point where you're able to create content about it. Yep. Can you talk about that process? Like internet talks about you have like $20 million worth of properties under your name that you operate. It's rental, right?
It's all rental real estate. It's just one at a time. It's literally just adding one at a time. And it started when I was 19 years old when we bought our first house, and just sort of kept adding and adding to the portfolio. I think building wealth is so key and really throughout our country. I mean, everybody should be thinking, how can we go from renting to owning? How can we go from paycheck to paycheck to taking some of our money and investing it into index funds or stocks for a long period of time? I know there's a big trading movement. We all know GME.
That brought in so many like kids our age into investing in
it's
stocks.
so much fun. It's the most fun like thing, like, because you don't need huge capital to do it. Like with Dogecoin, like for instance.
Doge is another one.
You gotta talk about
well, it's really interesting, and I probably in December, Kai goes, hey, like look at this crypto. It was at 1/3 of a cent, right?
Oh man.
Kai goes, look at this crypto. It's kind of cool. Like it's a meme, and I was like, oh cool. Like I'll throw $50 in it, right?
Nice.
Then I look at it, and then it like starts to grow, and then you were investing in more, I would say, like big boy stocks. When I big boy stocks and other stuff, I got
fucked by CCIV.
Oh yeah, you and everyone else, man.
Yeah.
And so I was still in on Doge, and then like my friends were asking me about it. I started like being like a broker for other people on it, and then next thing I know, like I made like $4,000 off Dogecoin with investing like I think $300 total. So it's literally just like, but it's so much fun because it's like $300. Most people have $300, and like if you just like, it was so much fun the entire time. And if I lose it, like I don't care.
Do
like
you see that as a little dangerous?
Oh
like,
yeah.
Everyone that came right because it's fun. It's Robinhood makes it fun. The UI is super cool. It's fractional shares. Everyone can invest, but then it's like people are gonna get burnt on
the hope is that people invest and they get in with the excitement, and that hopefully start thinking about long-term investing too. You know, if that's the gateway drug, and the worst case scenario is you lose $300 on Doge, or it goes to $1 and you make $5 grand, whatever it is, wonderful. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But it converts some of that to long-term investing. Look, buying real estate sounds boring, but it's the easiest way to build wealth. I mean, you're protected from so many different angles. The tenant is paying your loan for you. It's a 30-year loan, so who cares if the market crashes? You can't get margin called. You know, like it's so easy, and it's been one of the things that has just been core of my portfolio. But schools don't teach that.
They don't.
You know,
Yeah.
nobody teaches that stuff.
Don't you think it's funny how probably one of the first games most people play with their families, Monopoly, is it's so like we played Monopoly again the other day, and like it is so weird how real the game actually is in like the sense of like, I mean, it's obviously like very simplified, but don't you think it's interesting like how
It's the game.
It's the game of life. I think I said in my CNBC interview, I said I'm going to go play Monopoly, and it was a reference to buying more real estate. It really is a good game, but much like how real estate comes across in real life, everybody debates about the rules.
True.
What is free parking? Well,
yeah, there's a little bit of inconsistencies that happen, but
oh yeah.
That is, because right now there's a movement, right, where a lot of creators, like do you know Sway House, like Josh Richards, Bryce Hall?
Heard of Sway House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're huge creators. They're doing a lot of things to work with companies and taking equity deals to promote them, right, and to create more of these like longer lasting partnerships.
Sure.
A lot of creators have been getting into that. I think it's cool, and I think a lot of, and
Great.
all at the same time, a lot of creators are also talking about like, oh, I'm getting into rental properties as well.
Good.
You know, it's cool how we're seeing like people our age trying to do that once they have access to some capital.
It's so important, and there's so many options. I mean, you could do it anywhere; it's endless. So, absolutely wonderful. But that's another failure of the state. Why is it that you graduate at 18 and what do you have to look
Nothing
forward
about
to?
it. Yeah.
Nothing. What? A few $100,000 of student loan debt if you want to go to college, or you don't go to college and do your own thing. But that doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, the failure rate on TikTok or YouTube. I mean, let's be real. It's massive. It's 99% of people fail.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It's weird how they go out of school, they don't know it, and they have to watch YouTube channels. That's the value, right?
Yeah, you get educated online.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But I mean, that's going to be one of the big things that I would focus on trying to change too. Is with this model, future school. And so, I mean, I want to ask you guys: would you, at 14 years old, if somebody said, "Hey, you could go to the normal high school, you know, learn the geography, geometry, whatever," or do you want to go to future school, which is a blend of high school and community college, and pick your course. You want to go in the nursing direction, you want to go in the engineering direction, or computer science, or electrical engineering, whatever, right? You pick your direction, and then the direction that you choose. If you don't like it, switch over to the other one. But in the meantime, we're also teaching you these universal fundamentals like financial education. You know, what is compound interest? Why are people Googling that at 25 years old? You know, we should be taught that in high school. And so that way, and worst case scenario at 18, it's like, okay, now I graduated, I've got this electrical engineering background, decided I didn't like it, but hey, I got this financial background. Maybe you want to go to UC.
Right.
Hey, you still have the choice to do that. Who wouldn't do that? Would any of you not do that? Or what reservations would you have?
I mean, I think it sounds great, right? Because like the biggest reservation for me in college is I went to an in-state school, but it was still $27,000, right?
Still expensive.
And I'm at that point where like I had to pay for all of, I was like at a point where like I have to pay for all of it, but my parents are in a place like where, you know, I mean, they can't like body my entire school, but like they can, but I mean, they have money to pay for like everything that we need, but like school is just expensive.
Different.
So then I go into a business major, right? And then you like, if you want to change majors, you might as well throw your complete first year out the window.
Oh yeah.
And then
but
like
and then
it's
you
literally
waste all that money you spent on the first
I mean,
year.
I was literally changing to something else in the business track. It's just ridiculous. Like the classes they make you take that literally don't apply to anything whatsoever. Like university and high school. Like there's stuff I got a better education in high school than I did in my university.
Germany, these kids are like, I think it's like 40% of kids are in trade school by high school, and and we have like something like 8%, and people aren't going out learning skills that are actually valuable, aren't going to be automated away. You're trying to
and I mean, think about this too. Even if, let's say you learned electrical engineering, let's say you all learned how to be electricians by 18, just as an example, and then you decide, I'm going to go work for Apple or whatever. But then this massive recession comes and Apple goes bankrupt. Well, okay, you can be homeless, or wait, I know how to be an electrician.
Yeah,
You actually have something to fall back on.
Yeah.
And you do it for free by 18.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. You carve out of the existing budget. You're actually saving money by doing it because Biden wants to pay for all community colleges. Well, what if 50% of our community colleges are now future schools? It's a different label, but it's still a version of community college.
Yeah.
Thanks for the free schooling, Biden. You know?
Yeah.
So come on, we got to figure out how to save
Yeah.
money. We got to be smart in this state. The fact that you've got the state right now spending, for example, $125 million a mile on the high-speed rail. $125 million a mile. That's like 3,000 Bitcoin, or it was 3,000 Bitcoin. Bitcoin's got, it's probably like 3,500 Bitcoin now because Bitcoin's been falling. But Elon Musk can build tunnels for $10 million a mile.
Yeah.
Why is the state spending 12 times? Well, it's probably because I don't know, but it's probably because people's
Overcharged,
buddies
yeah.
are getting
Exactly.
contracts, We need a transparent process for that. I was even thinking there's a way to probably, Ethereum smart contracts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably a way to balance contractor quality and price and almost have smart contracts pick public works projects. Okay, you guys got the tunnel project because your quality was the highest rating and it was the lowest price.
Right.
Should be very, very transparent, but it's all behind doors right now. It's pretty shady.
Speaking of Ethereum, for our listeners who are hearing everything about crypto, like Bitcoin's the biggest thing. You need to invest in Bitcoin or Ethereum. We had like Michael Gruen on who was talking about how Bitcoin is you need to, right? Like, we know a good amount of Bitcoin. I feel like I've looked into it a good amount, but like how would you describe it to everybody who's like, it's too expensive? Should I be buying it now? How do you even start with like understanding what Bitcoin is?
Because I'm hearing like if you aren't invested in Bitcoin, like you're losing more money than if you should be, or if you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I get what
know-
you.
yeah.
It's like the idea of like, your money's devaluing just because of like printing money.
Hey,
Yeah.
do you want to just flip the package up?
we got to get the Manscaped out.
Oh, yeah.
They hit me.
Yeah,
I knocked something over.
The mic adjustment happened.
They hit me up when I had like the full beard. I should have done the sponsorship.
But you're saying like that's people were talking about like money's devaluing just because of how much we're printing.
Yeah.
You need to invest in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's what everyone's been
Or
saying.
Oh, I
Some
mean,
type of
everybody
crypto,
says that.
yeah.
Yeah.
How do you explain it for layman's, I guess?
I think the easiest way to get started is just put like a fraction of a percent of your net worth in. Get your feet wet, feel it, see. Because here's what happens. When you don't own something, you don't pay attention to it. You don't care. When you don't own real estate, you don't care about mortgage rates. Nobody cares about mortgage rates when you don't own real estate.
Yeah.
So that's why when the crash happened in March of 2020, Jerome Powell comes out. It was like March 6th or something like that. And he's like, we're dropping rates to zero. The very next day, because mortgage rates plummeted too, the very next day, because I'm in tune with that market, we refinanced like 8 properties. And we took all that cash that we got from those properties, dumped it into the stock market about 30 days later, which was pretty much right at the bottom of the market.
Right.
So, I mean, that move right there was just like, oh, I want to do that again, have that opportunity. But if you're not in it, you don't pay attention to it. So on crypto, get in, buy a little bit of Bitcoin, Ethereum. And then what happens is you start reading, oh, well, what is a smart contract? What is crypto? What are the arguments for crypto? Is it a store of value? Is it something that's going to protect against inflation? That's probably the biggest argument right now. But then again, we have all these inflation fears lately and Bitcoin's crashing.
Yeah.
So, the true function, or maybe not function, but the true like way of valuing it, I think is to be determined. But I think there's some cool functions.
For the last like 8 months, I've been very like all I've been doing is just trying to understand different parts of the financial world. And I'm so far away from where I like possibly need to be. So I don't even know like I don't even listen. Our audience are typically middle school, high school. Where do you start? Because if your schools are going to teach you, the only places I was seeing it was like Robert Kiyosaki on YouTube and all these random YouTube
My
channels.
gold.
It's my gold. But it would just pop up. And so like, how would you start? Like if you're a listener,
Investing or crypto or everything?
general like financial IQ.
Everything.
Everyone
Oh,
wants to be
gosh,
rich.
yeah.
Where do they start? Real quick, we want to thank BetterHelp, guys. We've been talking about BetterHelp for a while. It's one of the brands that I think I'm. Well, not brand. It's actually a company. But one of the companies that I'm most like proud to kind of talk about. It's an awesome company that what it does is actually makes it easier for you to find therapeutic help, counseling, someone to talk to about things that you're going through. We live in crazy stress times. Go find some help. It's hard to find a counselor in your network, someone that you can trust. And when you do work with somebody like a therapist, if you don't like them, it's hard to go to a different practice. And this makes it easy. It's all on your phone. It's an app. It's BetterHelp. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. You can start communicating under 48 hours. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It's professional counseling done securely online. There's a broad range of expertise available, which may not be available in your area. And what it does, you can log into your account anytime and send a message to your counselor, phone sessions, so you won't ever have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room again. And you're able to like schedule these like videos and meetings with your actual counselor. It's awesome. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change counselors if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available, right? So visit the website and read the testimonials that are posted daily. That you can find that at betterhelp.com/reviews, betterhelp.com/reviews. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp these days that they're actually recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. Special offer for the Sync listeners. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/thesync, betterhelp.com/thesync. That's secure counseling. Really easy to just, find and get some help.
Woo! Okay. We would also like to give a huge thank you to one of our sponsors, Manscaped.
Let's go.
The global leaders in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels and is now available in the USA, Canada, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and the EU. Yeah. We have an exclusive offer for our audience. Get 20% off plus free shipping by going to manscaped.com/thesync. Join the movement and get... That's just a typo. It's a typo. It's a typo in... No, okay.
You gotta read that
it's not correct English. I have to read the entire thing again?
The paragraph. Because it's just on you, so it's just going to be cutting you over and over again to cut the silence out. You're literally pausing for 4 seconds. I don't know what you expect us to do.
Alrighty.
You know what? Fuck this. Leave this in, because my favorite podcast, they make so many mistakes doing an ad read, and it's like the most natural thing. We are horrible at it. We use Manscaped every day. We like it. Yeah, we can't read a couple sentences. Sue us.
It's not even like right now. I can read this perfectly. Right when I try and talk about it, it's like.
I know. I know it gets hard.
Anyway, well, so sorry about my illiteracy.
Tell us about testicular cancer.
I don't know too much about it, but I am going to inform you. Together, TCS.
Go.
Manscaped.
They paid for 60 seconds. Let's go.
Manscaped, in addition to providing the right tools and solutions for safe and easy You want to cough a little bit more? Jesus fucking Christ. Manscaped, in addition to providing the right tools and solutions for safe and easy manscaping, has partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to spread awareness for men's health and early cancer detection. Together, TCS and Manscaped are committed to raising awareness for the most common form of cancer in men.
That is huge.
In men.
You know when you have to do cough at your physical, and you have to the doctor holds your balls and you have to cough, and he checks for testicular cancer.
Is that for
I think so. Well, at least you're supposed to check your balls in the shower if you feel any irregular bumps, and
if you feel like if you have any peas hanging out in your sack.
Yeah,
that's what they say. If you got pea sack, it's not good for you.
I got one on the bottom, but I think that's the normal thing. It helps it's part of the ball sack, or it's. But no, because I was worried about that, and I think I read that online.
Imagine you have to send a photo of your sack in for online.
How big is the pea supposed to be? I heard what I heard from the doctor is it's supposed to be like a frozen pea.
Anyway, Manscaped recommends you check yourself once a month. If you do feel any lumps or swelling, give your doctor a call.
So Manscaped's working to keep your balls healthy and clean. You can do that both. Go to Manscaped. Get 20% off. What can they do? Get 20% off on manscaped.com/thesync, right?
Yep. 20% off and free shipping when you go to manscaped.com/thesync.
Awesome. Thank you.
Gosh, the problem is getting started in finance, and I'm not trying to pitch this. I have a whole program on this, so I'm thinking back to my program. Getting started in finance is so much about starting to, when you get paid, thinking about, I get to invest, and that being your first urge. Like when I get a deposit from YouTube or whatever, the first thing I think of is, oh, sweet, I get to go buy some more stocks.
Yeah.
It's literally the opposite in our culture. Most of the time it's like, paycheck, come and buy that PlayStation. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we've been taught, to be consumers, to have the next car, the better lease, the upgraded pickup truck, the whatever.
Right.
Breaking that
Buy
is
the Pokemon cards.
Yeah, all of it, right?
Right.
Breaking that is the hardest part, especially since now so many things are branded as, oh, it's an investment, like, oh, a watch or a purse or whatever. Bad, in my opinion, okay? And I'm not trying to bag on watch collectors or that. That could be advanced. Call that advanced investing, okay? But get started by thinking about, when I get paid, when I have extra money, I get to invest. Because I think one of the mistakes I made, I know I made a mistake. I sold my World of Warcraft account in 2008 for $2,000.
That's a ton, right?
It's a lot for a World of Warcraft
Yeah.
account. Yeah, but I was in a top 10 guild. I had a lot of great gear, and I don't know.
Yeah.
The guy who bought it, I find out 3 months later, he lost his job and was on unemployment. And I'm like, this is why people need to learn finances. You don't spend $2,000 on a World of Warcraft account before losing your job, okay?
But he's still gotta play World of Warcraft.
I know, that's kind of sick.
You gotta go to the account.
He had so much more time to play World of Warcraft.
Hey,
after
you know
that.
what? Now he gets to
Yeah.
play more. That's
And
true.
now he can say he has Kevin's old account. Like,
So, okay, I took that $2,000. I bought a TV.
Okay.
A $2,000 40-inch Sony Bravia.
Yeah.
Like that TV.
That's how much a 40-inch TV costs.
Like 12, 13 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, that is
crazy.
That's a huge bummer.
Because
That's
they're like
a huge bummer.
that TV right now is like $125.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, because I don't know, we just buy TVs on OfferUp, and they're literally brand new 4K TVs, and we spend $150 on them.
Yeah.
Stop it.
like
So you're making me feel bad.
all of our couches
So-
and furniture and TVs are from OfferUp.
Good.
Crazy.
You know what the worst thing ever? And if my friends have gotten out of stocks or gotten out of crypto that they bought.
Yeah.
You always say that imagine you did this, right?
Yeah.
And it always kind of strikes people's cores the wrong way. Yeah. But imagine you bought $2,000 in Bitcoin back when.
Oh my gosh! Instead of that, exactly.
Yeah, right?
You
That's
know?
the idea, right?
Honestly, though, you could have bought $2,000 worth of anything in 2008. Okay, 2008.
And it's a great because
at
that
the
was,
end of the year too, when the market had
yeah,
crashed.
because that was a
right?
recession, right?
Yeah. I mean, imagine buying Apple back then. I mean, what was
Yeah.
it? I don't know. Pre-split, it was probably like $30 or something like that back then. Yeah. But I mean, hey, those are the things you look back at. I was like, well, yeah, obviously I should have done that, but I didn't.
Yeah.
You can't change the past. So now it's all just about looking forward. I mean, Lauren and I, we were talking yesterday. We're like, gosh, our expenses are really low relative to even our income. And we don't spend that much money. Our mortgage payment all in and everything is like $2,900 or whatever.
Wow,
Which is,
okay.
it's really low for what we have. Her car's paid off. My interest rate on my car is 1.49% on my Tesla. I'm like, I'm not paying that off. 1.49% is really low. But just every extra dime we have, invest, real estate stocks. And I think when folks get that mindset and they think, look, I'm 15 years old, I'm 18 years old, I'm 20 years old, I'm 30 years old, whatever. You're investing for the next 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
Like, who cares about the fluctuations in the meantime? Just get invested. Once you get in the investing mentality, that's the hard part. Once you get in, you just keep adding.
Yeah.
You just keep adding. You get used. You start finding your place too. Oh, what am I? Do I like this show social trading? Do I like just day trading, swing trading? Whatever. You do well in some places, you do poorly, you learn, you get educated, you get exposed. The number one thing is get in.
But do you guys agree? Like when you're at a party and people are there, like everyone's talking about how they are investing in some way. You know what I'm saying? It's like everyone's like trying to one up each other on what they're in.
especially in this-
Like I'm in this shit though. You heard about this coin?
Yeah, exactly. It's weird now because like back in like high school when we go to like parties or whatever, it's like no one would talk about like crypto or stocks or anything, but like now all like our Gen Z
It's
is
a
like
status thing.
It's like everyone's
Right?
getting into stocks, everyone's getting into Bitcoin, everyone's getting into
It's really good.
crypto. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Like literally,
Yeah.
or the other night, someone goes, "Oh, Bitcoin crashed. I gotta buy the dip. I gotta buy the." It drops like
Good.
$2,000.
I
and
know. But like that's
$2,000
great for you.
in
People
Bitcoin. I was
are
like, wow.
watching to understand
Buy the
more
dip,
and
buy the
more.
dip.
Let's go.
But would you agree that there's some kind of like huge, just a ton of new people that are just gonna
younger
just younger audiences. And you saw that like when GME happened, so many people subscribed. I'm sure the last couple months.
The concern that I have is folks they get too much into the momentum plays.
Right.
They follow because the stories that froth up on social
It's
media.
like a trend.
Yeah, and you take these trends, and then the stories that froth up are the success stories.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's this person became a millionaire on Dogecoin or on Bitcoin or this whatever coin
Mm-hmm.
or this whatever stock, this pharmaceutical or whatever. And then the stuff crashes, and then people go, that's it, I'm never getting in. And then they leave jaded. And then what happens is those are the people that probably got into like penny stocks in like the 70s and 80s who are like 50, 60 years old right now, living paycheck to paycheck. And it's no, I don't do the stock market. That's gambling. It's rigged. It is gambling. No, you can't win in the stock market. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
you just have to invest with a long run mindset and keep the speculating a little lower. So that's probably my number one concern for people starting is I just don't want them to turn jaded and get out.
Because when you first get in, you're like, oh, this is the cool thing. I'm gonna put in literally 80% of my entire net worth.
Yeah.
And I want results in the next 3 to 5 days.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
it's
Oh,
definitely
get
the
this!
wrong way to.
I did a Tesla video in January of 2020. Did a Tesla video, putting 50 grand in on Tesla, and it was like $925 before the split, right?
Yeah.
So $925. The thing went down to like $890 the next day. I have this list of comments of people like, such an idiot, such a loser. Here the next day when it's down, 5% or whatever.
that.
Yeah. Everybody's just like pissed and bagging on the video. There's actually a comment now. Somebody came back to that video and is like, yeah, well, here a year later where it's basically $4,000.
Yeah.
After the split.
It's all long term.
Yeah.
Wow. So I mean, it's like it's the engagement. That's one way to think about it. They're just gonna still keep on commenting.
What are your views on like gambling in California with?
Oh, I want to legalize gambling.
Yeah.
Legalize all gambling, online gambling.
Have you heard of
casinos.
Roulette?
Have you heard of
have you
Roulette?
ever gotten on Roulette?
Roulette?
Roulette.
Yeah, I've got
That might be the
no.
one thing that changes your mind.
Anyway,
How would you break down Roulette?
So and also I had two things I want to
Roulette,
talk
you need
about.
to sponsor us, please. Thank you.
So Roulette is online gambling and it's not legal in California. So
Of course not.
So you just go VPN to Puerto Rico and it normally works.
Yeah.
You didn't hear that from me.
Nope.
But it's this, it's an online betting and there's so many different things that you can go through and you have to bet in Ethereum or Bitcoin.
Of course.
And there's like there's like
So this is-
virtual reality, like
It's so
blackjack
dumb.
games and stuff
But
like
there's
that.
there's this game called Crash where you put in a bet and it's a rocket ship that flies and it flies to a multiplier and you have to pull out like on what multiplier it is before the ship crashes.
Oh man.
And it is the most electric, exhilarating. Like
Sometimes you put in $50 and it'll go all the way up for like a
like
minute,
a
and you're
35
making,
I went in-
and you're
I
seeing
went
your
in-
money go to like 3,600. But then if it crashes, you go to zero.
Does it just like blow up?
It blows up.
yeah, the ship just blows up.
Oh.
It just everything turns red and like. So like with me, I put in. I was riding. I was riding like multiples of 11 like the entire night. But I was literally. I was
lucky
like.
number.
I was like. I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling lucky.
go.
All right,
Let's go.
We're going in $33.
I'm not
And
leaving.
No, and I go in, and it went to like a. It went to like a. Almost like a 10 times multiplier.
Yeah.
Then you get way up. You're like, oh my god, I just made $330. Then you go in again. You could put. So say like this time maybe I'm like okay I'm going 77.
Yeah.
I'm going 77 in. Then it goes in and it could crash instantly.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, people, I can totally see how people could just piss their.
It's super fun to like do it with your friends too.
Yeah,
because like
it's
you're
like
just
a great.
like
Everyone's
you're
like,
just sitting there like let's go, pull.
everyone's
So that's investing, right? That's what that is.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, that kind of stuff, it's going to happen anyway, okay?
like with us. I mean, like we're like, I mean, it's definitely not legal.
You're playing around, and so you have to VPN in. All that means is California isn't getting their slice of that rocket ship.
Yeah.
California could be getting a slice of all those blown up rocket ships. That's what we got to make happen. And then guess what you can do? You can lower state taxes because you're collecting revenue from things that are happening anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So what?
Smart
So
as fuck.
where does?
Thank you. Can we clip that?
That's your entire ad commercial. That's smart as fuck. This guy.
Seriously.
So where does California stand right now with gambling? Like what are the gambling laws?
I mean, look, you've got some casinos on Indian reservations, but that's roughly it. I personally think, hey, let's partner with the Indian reservations. Let's blow this up. What I'm tired of seeing is people are like, hey, you guys want to go gambling? Guess where they go? Vegas.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
States are supposed to compete with each other. Hey, Vegas, how are you going to feel about us having like 5 Vegases throughout California?
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, people are going on California or going throughout California, vacationing in California at New Vegas.
Yeah.
Now, Nevada's going to be pissed about that, but that's not my problem. I'm running to run California, not Nevada. Okay. But guess what that does? That now incentivizes Nevada to get smarter about, and maybe they're already thinking this, but it's going to encourage them or force them to renovate properties.
Right.
The Bellagio used to be the hit property on the Strip. It's not that good anymore.
not.
It's like the Wynn and Encore now, right?
Yeah.
That's where the money's going right now. And so you force innovation by creating competition.
Yeah.
So I want that in California. Imagine you in the next 5 years, you build casinos. Maybe even you could even build towns around casinos. You can build a new casino outside of Piru or Fillmore or whatever, and attract new residential developments, new restaurants,
Like
new
the Ozarks.
I don't know what that is.
No, have you ever seen?
Sounds good.
Have you seen Ozark?
Nuh-uh.
Oh, you got it. It's a
Oh,
good
you
show.
would love Ozark.
You would love Ozark.
You would
Okay.
fucking love
Yeah, you would
Ozark.
love Ozark.
It's a
Yeah.
great.
It's
So
a
it's about
Netflix
it's about a finance guy. His name's Marty Bird, and he
Marty
has this
Bird,
family, right? But he starts laundering money for the cartel. But eventually, they're in the Ozarks is in Missouri, correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And it's all in Bitcoin.
Yeah. So you can't. Your casino has to be within like 50 miles of a river, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they get a big house or a big like barge, like a big like steam barge, and they built the casino on that, and that's how they start laundering the money. But anyway, it's a really good show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to take some notes.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, maybe not the money laundering for the
No,
cartel
not
part.
that part. Unless can we tax it? Jeez. Yeah, I mean, but honestly, I mean that brings up another thing. The immigration crisis is something else, and I personally think one of the reasons we have so much, and the research reiterates this, one of the reasons we have so much illegal immigration is because it's like impossible to actually get here legally because you have such restrictions on. There are lottery restrictions, like only 50,000 folks can get visas per year or whatever. And so you got lines of educated folks who want to come in here, want to work here, want to bring their money and wealth here, want to bring their businesses here, but you can't.
Yeah.
So are they going to risk their lives trying to come here illegally? No. So what happens? You only attract the desperate folks who are willing to risk their lives to come here. So why is it that you're only getting refugees at the border? Because there's no way to incentivize people to actually come here legally in the amounts that we need.
Wait,
Yeah,
well, like
okay.
I know people who like both their parents are very high up at Microsoft, and they've they've lived here for 5-6 years, and like they aren't U.S. citizens.
Yeah,
because
right.
it's so hard. It's one of the hardest things to get. So that totally makes sense on how it becomes an issue. Then also like if you take out the like the education side of it, right? Like there's a lot of stuff that goes into like having to know like you have to like know like a lot of these things, and you also have to like have like the resources to like be able to figure it out. So I see how it could be such an issue.
Well, I mean, imagine this. So think about this. Imagine you're running an architect's firm, I don't know, down in Brazil or something like that. And you're like, look, we've got $50,000 of wealth or $100,000 of wealth, whatever. They have wealth built up, and they're like, I would love to go to California and build a firm in California. They are capable of running, or coming out here. They have a way to come here. They can get licensed out here using their experience, somehow certify, pass a test or whatever, and come bring your job here. Now, the first reaction that we usually get is, hey, well, I mean, if they come out, they're taking away jobs from Californians. But here's the flip side of the argument is, when you get 20 professionals to come here, those 20 people aren't all architects, but they probably all need one.
Yeah.
They probably all need a CPA. They all need a CPA.
Oh, right,
you bring
right.
one CPA, one architect. You
create these different jobs of people that already live here.
Attract people who can add to our GDP
Yeah.
and create more competition in our market, but also more demand by having more of a population. And so having some kind of streamlined process for that is something California could do, but it's just another thing. It's just not a priority for the governor.
Yeah. Okay.
Sad.
Jeez.
Wow. So what's next steps for you? Like, what are you looking at as like the big thing to get? Like, you just launched your campaign like 3 days ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you need to do? Like, what are the big milestones you need to hit in the next couple months?
Yeah.
Because you have like you walked in with like a full film crew.
It was cool.
Like,
it was
that
it's
cool.
something that's also something that's funny is like normally like on our podcast we kind of like goof around and like like they end up like they're always like funny, but like they all sometimes it's like what did I really get from that podcast? You know what I mean? But like very recently we've been having these like very intellectual conversations on our podcast, and Berkeley and I will like look at each other. We're like, whoa!
I was like, wow,
our mind is just whoa. So it's it's pretty funny.
I'm learning way more than college is teaching.
Yeah,
me right
I know.
now. Like,
You just sit there.
Yeah.
You just sit there, and just listen, and it's just it's so interesting. And our fans really love it too. Our fans love the the more intellectual conversations that we have.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, you have everything, have a variety.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me on. But yeah, I mean, what's next? I mean, gosh, did you hear we did our announcement post on Instagram, and
They took you down, right?
Yeah,
Newsom took you down on Instagram. Kinda
Exactly.
fucked.
Yeah.
Wait,
so
what?
Yeah. So on my announcement post, I called Gavin Newsom a weenie baby, and apparently
That cuts deep.
that crosses the line, Kevin. Come on, man.
I should have stuck with baloney head.
Yeah.
But anyways, I got shut down for bullying and harassment by
That's
Instagram.
so dumb.
Yeah, we find out that Facebook, which owns Instagram, donated $27 million to Newsom's campaign in 2020.
What?
Yeah, and then Mark Zuck himself donated $3 million.
The reptile. The
Uh-huh.
reptile himself.
Holy
The
shit.
Zucker.
But I mean, it's odd. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's very odd.
Yeah.
So Fox News ended up reaching out to them, and as soon as Fox called them, the post reappeared. Probably because they realized a story was being done. And so I mean, the post is back, but the big thing now going forward is we don't have the funding that Newsom does. So all of the donations that we get, meetkevin.com.
Go donate. Go check it out.
All of the donations we get, we're going to try to stretch, and we're going to, every dollar that we get as much as possible. My goal, my dream is we spend $8 million running our campaign when probably a normal campaign is probably running $40-50 million.
Right.
And, my dream would be you wake up, we win the election. We spend $8 million. Gavin Newsom spends 80.
Yeah.
We outwork him 10 to 1
Yeah.
because that's what the government's doing right now to its people. Is they're spending $10 for every $1 of a problem.
Yeah.
It's so inefficient. It's so broken. So we got to fix all the red tape and actually make the state
And they're spending
function.
money on shit like a huge crew for a commercial. Like, you are a content creator. You have ability to market as well, which is probably the most expensive part of a campaign. Getting your name out there,
100%.
that's what
so
you're probably
cool.
the best
Yeah.
at.
It's so cool that
Yeah.
like that
And you have the
social media
creative-
brings
yeah.
that ability to people.
Yeah.
Like, you have
right?
the
Like,
creative mind to fucking like plaster your face everywhere. Like your thumbnails, for example, you could be on like a billboard.
or
like,
your car cracking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see like the wrapped Tesla pull up. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank
You got to change the you got to change it from the real
The real estate sign. Yep. It's in printing.
Nice.
So soon it'll change. So it'll meet Kevin Paffrath for governor 2021. But I mean, look, this other competitor, he spent $5 million to film and air a TV commercial with a grizzly bear. And it's like, dude, I could run my entire campaign on what you just dumped on a grizzly bear. And he got a lot of heat for that, negative attention for that. Like, he wasted $5 million is what he did. Well, it's the same thing these people do when they get in office.
Yeah.
Because they don't have our mindset.
Yeah.
They don't have that entrepreneurial mindset of like, well, do we really need the $300 tripod? I mean, the $27 one's going to be good enough. It's going to hold the camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that's what's missing in politics, that transparency of like, we can save money too. But yeah, we're going to do these micro meetups too. Like, we're doing one today at Venice at 4 p.m. by Muscle Beach. And then we're going to see how that goes. I'm hoping it's not like crazy because that's going to make it harder to do them again. But as long as it's civil and we can do like a little free speech thing or whatever, we'll do that throughout the state. We'll just go take a bus and do these throughout the state. And
You guys should go to Huntington Beach, actually.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
You guys should come.
There's
we break.
do that.
Wait, did you tell me about what's happening?
Yeah, the
Adrian's kickback.
Adrian's
Let's do
kickback.
it. Yeah.
No, like literally, it's like so many
Like,
people.
there
are
could be
there.
like, okay, I know that
There's like
it's
20
COVID obviously, but there could be like 20 to 30,000 people there.
When?
Yeah.
And they're all
Tonight.
from TikTok today.
Today?
Huntington
Tonight.
Beach.
Like literally tonight.
What
It's
time?
a huge, it's like
Like,
7.
7:30. Tower 13.
Tower 13.
Huntington Beach. Like yesterday.
Let's
It's
do it.
so weird. It's like the most random event.
Yeah, but like if you like want to talk to people.
Yeah, it's gonna be
big.
yeah.
And just
Are
create
you guys
TikTok
going?
content. We're going to film videos there.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I'm down. We'll film some videos.
Yeah.
of it, too. Yeah.
Going
That's gonna be
to
wild.
Adrian's kickback and talking about, that'd be sick.
There's gonna be a lot of people there.
That's
Wow.
fun. No.
Well, if it happened, there's
The Huntington Beach like police already like tweeted out like we're shutting down the whole beach.
really.
Yeah.
They said that?
They did it yesterday.
See, this is where things get a little sketchy.
Yeah.
This is where people get angry, and then the fences
And the
start getting
riots
thrown.
get-
And
No. Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, we want to have little meetups where it's just we're not in anybody's way. There's no traffic we're blocking. It's not like we're demonstrating, marching down the streets. Just real grassroots. Connect with folks and hear their frustrations. Because I really think the more we look around our state, the more we're like, wait, really? We're supposed to be the number one, but we're like last in everything. To highest in taxes, highest in regulation, but we're down towards the bottom of the list in schooling and certainly homelessness. I mean, let's be real. So.
Just a lot of assholes too.
We're gonna fix that too. That's an emergency
That's
order.
number-
Day one.
People are
No
more assholes.
more assholes.
people are just dicks for literally no reason. Like,
at all.
have you ever
And
seen
people
how?
that drive down here suck.
Yeah.
They literally suck.
Can
Have
we
you
get
ever
rid
s-
of really rich, like snobby people?
We're gonna put them in tunnels.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the cool thing
Honestly,
too.
just Elon just send those people to the moon, like, or send them to Mars. We don't honestly don't even.
Have you ever seen how happy a gas station attendant gets when you say hi to them?
Yeah.
It's
I
because
love it.
I just
Everyone's a
know
dick, especially in our
out of
Beverly
the
House.
like 100 people that they see that day, everyone's just either fuck with them, tried to fight them, or fucking stole something from them. And like,
My
if you
pump broken.
if you can be the one person that says hi to them, they're like,
Yeah.
what?
People are like not used to like having someone say hi to them when they're walking by them. That's so weird to us because like back home, it's weird if
That's
you don't say
not-
something.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Seattle's
see-
not even the nicest area in the world. Like, like nicest people in the world.
I mean, if you look at California in general, that's almost, I feel like, what the symptom of the homelessness is. You know, more people who walk by the homelessness hate them, spite them, or angry at them. I'd say 9 out of 10 people spite the homeless problem, when really it's a symptom of the lack of compassion that we have in our state.
Yeah.
Which it trickles up to government. The government's like, oh yeah, 5-year plan, sure, caviar. You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So guys, meetkevin.com. But this is going to be insane because it sounds like a crazy uphill journey of everything that you have to do. And when you get in something even crazier, it is California. It's a country within a. It's a country. It's a state. What is it? A country within a state. That's basically what it is. It's its own country.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And in some places, it's a complete shit show.
Some
But
places-
it is a pretty fun place to live.
it is a fun
It's
You
place.
gotta
to live.
love the shit paintings.
Yeah, you gotta love those.
More shit, less shit painting.
We got an NFT though. So
Yeah.
You
Honestly.
you NFT as drawers.
He didn't have any drawers.
You didn't have any drawers.
NFT is ball sack.
Yeah, you
No.
can do that. That works.
Epic.
Oh yeah. All right, guys. So how can everyone support you? Donate? Can they volunteer?
Definitely. I mean, if somebody wants to work for the campaign, I know right now we're getting a lot of comments. People are like, "Why is it all dudes, man?" It's like women are not applying right now.
Yeah.
and we would love that.
You're also
So-
on finance YouTube. It's really heavily male dominated.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. So I think the algorithm does skew to that direction. But yeah, we want people of all experiences. Send an email to staff@meetkevin.com. Pitch yourself. Like,
Yeah.
you're like hi, I want to work for you. It's not going to cut it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is what I can do for you. I'll do this. I'll do this. I'll do this. You know, this is what I'm looking to be paid, or I'll do it for free. Whatever. Just say what you want. Yeah. Be transparent about it. And otherwise go to meetkevin.com, see the plan. Go to meetkevin.com/donate. There's also a button. Support the campaign. Yeah. Donations have been very, very good for our first week, and we're really excited. We're very excited about the campaign.
Awesome.
So we're all in.
Sick.
You have a great politician. Like go to like this thing, like speech.
No,
Solid.
because you're used to saying subscribe, follow me on this. You know?
life insurance in as little as 5 minutes. And the link down. What's your pitch? What do you guys have to pitch in this? You have to-
like and subscribe.
Yeah, we just
some
Kai
break- no, come on,
has it down.
there's
He's
gotta
like,
be a
yeah, make
product.
sure to comment, like, and
Yeah.
subscribe.
Just make
but,
sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram.
You guys
and
need
leave a
affiliate
review.
links.
Affiliate links. Oh, for,
no,
for
yeah,
what?
we have like brand deals.
Like what?
We have quite a few
Manscaped.
right now. We have.
Make sure to go to the link down below for Manscaped.
Yeah,
You can have
yeah,
beautiful.
Just say thank you to the sponsors. But yeah, we run those after. So that.
Oh, I
yeah.
got you. Okay. No,
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. All of that. But yeah, I mean, obviously practice from YouTube helps.
Yeah.
It's funny. I went, Fox, I've never done this, but on these, when they had me on their live show, prime time, which was really intense.
Yeah, what's that like when you go on Fox News?
I was so nervous, and I'm never nervous. Like, this is so relaxing. But then again, you guys give me a couch, and you're so nice. And you guys are awesome. There, it's like, so I'm sitting in my thing. They have you come on 15 minutes before the airtime, and I already have an earpiece in. Other people have like headphones and stuff like that, I'm sure. So I have the little earpiece from my set, and you listen. They turn on the live programming. You're looking at a blacked out Skype screen, so you can't see the show. You can only hear the show. So it's like the
Weird.
intimidation level goes up because you're
Yeah.
just talking to blackness, right? And then every so often you get these people that are like, mic check, Kevin, can you hear us? And you're like, yeah, I can hear it. And then somebody else, Kevin, can you move forward a little bit? Oh, no, a little to the left. Okay. And then somebody else, Kevin, you're coming on in about 30 seconds. But what you're going to do for this is you're just going to smile and wave. And then we're going to cut to commercial before we get to your segment. And that's
Are you
like,
serious?
yeah, they're just like literally they
Everything
walk.
planned out like that.
It's
crazy.
crazy how planned out that is. And then they even have like another voice that'll come on like, don't worry, man, you're going to do good.
you have like two different earpieces. Hey man, don't worry.
Don't worry, man. It's all gonna be fine. You're gonna do great. Like it's like they really try
You
to
hear
hype it.
Sean Hannity gets in your ear, like, you're going to kill it, man. You're going to kill it. So were you at home filming it or in the studio?
In my set.
Okay.
So they just literally zoom you in, and then all of a sudden you're on national TV. It's really intense. But I was really nervous for that. But yeah, I mean it's fun. It's really cool to see that experience, but it's bizarre.
Yeah. That's crazy. No, because there's been articles about how like Fox News weirdly has picked you up so much more than like the other mainstream, like the more like left-leaning news sources. I think it's because you're running against Gavin Newsom partially, right?
I think that's the thing, because I believe that California needs the solutions we have, our future model, which is very much, look, the problems we have are Californian problems. Homelessness, transportation, housing, too much taxation, and the housing shortage. Too much regulation in the way, right? Dealing with all those things, those are left things, those are right things, those are everything, right? And so Fox, I think, has really picked us up recently because the Democratic Party in California said we are not putting up a Democratic candidate to run against Newsom. So here we are, and that's so they can brand, like literally all of their advertising in the last 3 to 6 months has been, it's a Republican recall. It's a Republican recall. Like, don't even bother. Like, we're not concerned. We're fine. It's Republican. And so here I come throwing a wrench in the gears as a Democratic contender against Gavin Newsom. So now it's kind of like, okay, this messes things up for them, but it's good because Gavin's got to go.
Yeah.
He's
Are
the
they
problem.
thinking about you right now? Do you think like the DNC, are they worried about you?
I'm sure they know about us, because what happens is I get dozens to hundreds of these a day. People send me these screenshots where somebody will text them like, hey, I'm from Gavin Newsom's office. We just want to make sure you're voting no on recall. And they're like, I'm voting yes, and I'm voting for me, Kevin Paffrath. And then they're just like, oh, okay.
Damn.
So you know they're already collecting
Yeah,
data
it's
on
like
us.
they send like a selfie back, and it's like fucking. It's like
fucking
sad.
you off.
Fuck you.
Right. Well, the day we announced, it's so weird. We had these at least 2 or 3 cars that started driving by where we have our campaign set up right now, and they're just like, they drive by and they film us, and I'm like, oh man, are they really like scouting us out already? It's like, is this how the attack ads
Are
start?
they, you think?
It wouldn't surprise
You
me.
posted something about how like there's something happening, like you're getting like threats during your campaign.
I mean, we haven't gotten threats yet, like physical threats.
Yeah.
We've had some crazy stuff before where people like send cops to our house, like they hear crazy domestic violence. Meanwhile, Lauren and I
you're
are
getting
sitting
swatted.
doing nothing.
Swatted.
That kind of stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
No,
shitty.
we've had stuff like that. So it's a problem. But no,
Yeah.
I mean, so far people have been very optimistic. I mean, I'm getting people who are like, Kevin, I'm a staunch Republican, but I got to vote for you, man. And people are like, man, I thought there was going to be no other option but Newsom, but now I'm like, oh, you're it. You know, this is what we need. And so hopefully we can create that fire in California, kind of like Kennedy did back in the day running against Nixon. Just out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get shot in the car.
And you don't want a ton of blow to get through that.
And less with the adultery.
So the adultery,
Yes,
the
yes.
blow, and then just general.
Okay, minus all that. Yeah. The good part.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been talking about for a while, like Nelk and these other. You know a lot of these other YouTubers. You've been watching them for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about TikTok? Like any
TikTok, recently we just started doing a lot of posts on TikTok. I got addicted to TikTok like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the problem with TikTok is you can't stop scrolling.
I know.
Or you just can't stop, man. It just keeps going. Because it's like, the next one's going to be the best ever. So no, not yet. Not yet. You know? It's so funny.
And the algorithm is like literally formed to you.
Yeah.
So like you.
What's the FYP of a what is this? A stock YouTuber real estate running for governor of California?
Wow. You know, I get a lot of. I don't know, and they're good at this. I'm looking at, why would they? I get a lot of helicopter and plane videos, but I've always wanted to fly a helicopter.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of that because I really just, like Kobe was the most devastating day for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, like 2 dreams are dying here. So that was really devastating. But yeah, I mean, that is something that I get a lot of because I have such a passion for flying, and I think it's such an efficient way of getting around. Mostly because I hate sitting in traffic, which is also why we need tunnels in California.
Oh yeah,
lots of tunnels.
I've been following the what the Boring Company is doing. It's really interesting.
It's fascinating.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's so much
super
better.
cool.
Please figure out LAX because that place is a shit show.
Imagine if you had.
LAX has been good recently.
No,
though.
the getting to LAX.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, no!
Oh, yeah.
Tunnels from the 405 to the LAX. You can also put tunnels underneath the loop at LAX.
Yeah.
You can have new parking structures underneath. You can have multiple arrival tunnels underneath where you just take an elevator up. It's not that
It would
hard.
change everything.
The beautiful thing about tunnels is you have no shortage of space.
Right.
You don't have to we got to create another lane. Well, that's going to kill all the trees, or we got to, no, you just dig. You just dig a
Keep
circular
going,
hole.
yeah.
You know?
No. Damn. Okay, guys, go check it out. Everything's going to be linked down below for Kevin. MeetKevin.com. Guys, make sure to subscribe to the notification bell. Follow us on Instagram. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Guys, thank you so much. Kevin, thank you for coming on.
Thank you. It was
Thank
a pleasure.
you.
Thanks, Alia.
Buy the dip.
Buy the dip.
Buy the
Always
dip.
buy the dip.
Buy low, sell high.
Buy
There's
low,
no
sell high.
such thing as a falling knife. It's just a dip.
Yes.
Buy it.
All right, we'll see you guys. Peace. Woo.
Thank you to the sponsors.
Buy the merch.